having a fun time with that. Digging with his face and
love
stuff.
him.
You're beautiful, sir.
First step.
Same as that cage.
There's one for the giraffes. Pond. Someone's up there. Excuse me. Oh, that's so gross. I don't know. Anyway, evaluation time. So we came around 12 o'clock, 12:30, which we assumed would be feeding time. It was not.
No.
I
I think it was after feeding time.
Most of the animals were out though.
Yeah.
I want to say 2 or 3 were inside. But even then, they were sleepy. I think what we noticed from the beginning is that there were a lot of stim toys in the very beginning of the path, and then once we got to the end, they had kind of dwindled down to nothing.
It's really funny because it's like all the animals that people are most interested in seeing had the most toys.
Yeah, but I think that's because people are most interested in the playful animals. Like, the gazelles are more known for climbing and playing with each other. And fighting. And the giraffes had a few hanging ones. But I think we had just missed feeding time because they were all so sleepy.
And they all had food.
And they all had food, but they weren't eating it, so I think they had just finished.
Just leftovers.
Oh gosh, the lions, they looked like they hated each other.
Oh, they looked like they were sitting there and they were
They looked like a fighting couple. Like the female was on top of the rock, her head is just like this.
And I want to be near you because I love you, but I don't want to look or hear you because I'm mad at you.
And the male was on the ground, kept looking back at her, looking back at the wall, back at her,
a lot.
back at the wall. Well, yeah, I think that's a feeding time thing. There was a lot of behavior that I noticed in the hog that was interesting. He was especially playful.
Oh yeah, he was just shoving his face in the ground, just.
He kept picking up the stick and going.
He seemed happy, and he was the only one outside. He was all by himself.
There were 2 others inside, but I think they were still eating.
It looked like it.
It looked like they were still eating, and all of their hay was like gone because they were eating it. But I think in terms of what we're doing with the project, this was a good trip because they were well behaved, weren't really exhibiting any strange behavior.
Or stressed out or like upset.
No, they didn't seem stressed or upset. Tiger looked a little skinny.
But we think it might just be because he's young. We don't know yet. Gotta do more research.
Yeah, I gotta check and see how old he is. Because he looked about the size of his dog.
Yeah. There were a lot of signs about conservation and like the different types of wildlife in the natural habitat, so very informational.
In accordance to how the zoo is working right now,
a lot of safety measures taken for the people.
Yes.
Animals seem to be fine.
They have one-ways
everywhere.
There are absolutely no indoor buildings open
except for the conservation
station.
whatever.
Okay, but overall, the animals' behavior was pretty good. They were all super tired.
Yeah, me too though.
No weird behaviors exhibited. They were all friendly to each other.
Nobody seemed upset.
The lions looked like they were going through a divorce, but
Besides that, the rhino peed backwards.
yeah.
Anyway, our primary goal is to not, like, obviously explain the difference between zoos and sanctuaries, because many people don't know, but also to compare it to, like, roadside zoos and, like, circuses and gross, like, privatized sanctuaries. So, you know, the ones that, like, abuse and starve their animals.
Yeah, just for, like, a little background here, zoos and sanctuaries are not only for public consumption, but also for conservation efforts. Zoos and sanctuaries will be accredited by some sort of organization, usually the AZA, but there are a few others. Whereas roadside zoos and circuses benefit off of public consumption for their own financial benefit, I would say. And overall, they just exploit their animals.
Yeah.
Whereas zoos really work hard to take care of their animals and make sure that their animals are not only safe, but bring enjoyment to the community as well.
Well cared for.
Well cared for, too. Yeah. But we're going on a journey. We've got 3 more to go to after this.
Woo!